Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Everyday Bubbly with Taylor and Allegra. As always, we are so happy that you're here. We love getting to do this and we're just excited to be here. We are switching things up just a little bit. We have been doing this for almost a year and our format has been the same from day one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and play around with just length of episodes, maybe adding some segments, removing some segments. Today we're gonna be taking out our song of the week from the episode, but we'll still be able to share it like on social and it'll be on the playlist still.
Yep.
So yeah, just a little bit of updates for you guys. I feel like I'm like, you know when you go-
Housekeeping.
Yeah, no, literally, I was like, you know when you like go to a class, like housekeeping things. I'm like,
Yeah.
I hate that I had to do that, but just wanted you guys to know what is...
In case you think that we forgot when we don't do our song of the week at the end, but we didn't forget.
We didn't forget. I have one in my soul. I'm just not going to share it here.
Yeah, we'll put it in the playlist.
We'll put it in the playlist. So Alia,
but we're gonna keep our cheers.
We're gonna keep our cheers. What are we drinking today?
So we decided to do a little espresso martini. It's a Sunday fun day for us. And espresso martini just sounded really good. Made up with 2 parts Mr. Black cold brew liqueur, and then 1 part vodka, 1 part coffee.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
It's actually very good.
I actually think that Mr. Black's, it's an Australian thing, like
I've
Australian
never seen that before. You're the first person I know that's shown that to me. Yeah.
They sell it at Twin Liquors. I think I got it at a restaurant for the first time I saw, instead of using Kahlua, they had used that. And it makes such a difference.
Kahlua is almost like too sweet for an espresso martini.
I agree. It makes it like creamy. Yeah, it really makes it so creamy.
I want this. I want it to be like an iced coffee basically, but without the ice chunks.
Yes. So. And I think this hits it. So sip, sip, sip.
What are you cheersing to this week?
I'm cheersing to I guess not just getting back, but last week I was in Hawaii for my friend Barbara's most beautiful, I've been to a fair amount of weddings, and sorry to all the brides I've loved before. Barbie's wedding, I think she was the most beautiful bride I think I'd seen in a really long time. She was so gorgeous.
I know, I saw the picture. She looked amazing.
She was like so radiant.
She looked so in love and like glowy, and I'm like, you can't fake that.
You can't fake that. Like it was just like such a beautiful, beautiful wedding. It was in Hawaii at the Four Seasons in Oahu. There was this beautiful view, like the back of the chapel was glass, so you could see out into the ocean as they were like getting married.
Stunning. When
we went to the reception lawn, there was like this view of the mountains. The food was the most amazing wedding food I've ever had. Like they had a build your own poke bar with like 4 different types of fish. They had like roast pig. They had like special chicken.
Hawaiian kind of luau feel.
Yes, it was so good. And then for late night, they had a French fry bar and pizza. It was beautiful. And like,
I feel like when you get married, you're gonna have like late night McDonald's.
Absolutely. like 110%.
A tray of chicken nuggets and crispy French fries.
Yeah, I went to a wedding one time where they had honey butter chicken biscuits as you're like getting onto the bus to come back into town. You got a honey butter chicken biscuit.
I love like fast food as a late night food for a wedding.
It just feels right. Like you're gonna be getting that stuff on your way home from the wedding regardless if you're like local.
Did you say you have a friend that's looking at doing the P. Terry's truck?
She's gonna do a P. Terry truck for her wedding.
Is she gonna do that as like the food?
I think that's the actual food.
Oh, so that's different.
Yeah, she's doing that as Nick and I had talked, like if we had gotten married, there was this food truck that we loved called Kimchi John's, R.I.P. Kimchi John's. And we're like, if we get married, I want this food truck to be at the wedding.
I thought like if I got married that I wanted Matt's El Rancho to cater.
You still can do that.
No, they don't do catering anymore.
Oh.
I know.
Wait, that's a bummer.
Devastado. It's okay.
That's okay.
I don't know if they would go out to Marfa.
I very much doubt that. But yeah, that's my cheers of the week is just Hawaii was great. We'd had a bit of a rough week the week prior, so being able to like fully disconnect. Nick and I got to just like exist on the beach, spent like way too much time in the water, just like floating.
Be one with nature.
Yeah, and it was amazing. We ate so much good food, not even at the wedding, but just in Hawaii in general. So that's my cheers of the week. I had a great time in Hawaii.
That's a good one.
What's your cheers of the week?
My cheers of the week is kind of in a similar vein. Not that I just got back from an amazing trip, but Adam and I just booked a upcoming amazing trip. So Adam is turning 40.
I cannot believe.
In November. It's crazy. But he's turning 40 with a bunch of his friends that he grew up with. So we are doing kind of a group trip to Isla Mujeres, going to an adult all-inclusive resort for 4 nights in November.
You keep telling me about this and I keep forgetting that this is happening and getting excited all over again.
Yeah, so it's going to be like mid-November. So we have some time. We just booked our flights today.
Nice.
We're going to get the hotel probably next week, and then we'll just have like several months to just save up for things. But it being all-inclusive, there really shouldn't be a lot of extra spending. And it'll be right before the holidays, right before it gets really busy for me with Trail of Lights. So I'm excited to celebrate him and this big milestone birthday. And
that's amazing. How many people are going to be on the trip?
So, oh my gosh. So it's so funny that I always complain to Adam that I'm never like included in his like friends group chats. They created a group chat for this trip, and I'm like, I will never complain
that you're
again.
in it.
I will never complain again because they're just like, burp, 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 burp. I had to hide the alerts. But so far, it's gonna be it's gonna be like 4 or 5 couples.
Oh.
And no kids, which will be great.
Love that.
Because all of Adam's friends have kiddos now, so.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I feel like my friend group, our friend group, and then my friends that like aren't part of our group, don't.
I know.
That's so weird.
I don't know anyone like yet. Besides Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like one person who you've met, like in the Nick friend group. They have a kid, but other than that, like nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody has kids.
The gal that came to help. Yeah.
Jewel. Jewel and Cooper.
Jewel, cutest freaking baby.
She's so adorable and like perfect.
I
was saying this to somebody. I think first babies of a friend group are there to trick other people into having babies because the first baby is always so chill.
Yeah.
And then future babies are never as chill as that first baby.
Never. So.
Well, let's cheers to that before you put your glass down. I love those. I can't wait for your big trip.
I know, I'm excited. I've never been to Isla Mujeres, so.
Me neither. I've heard it's
beautiful. If you've been, listeners, send me tips. I think we're staying by the North Beach. Adam actually used to live and work there for
I always forget
a couple
that too.
summers. Yeah, so.
I always forget that. Well, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear all about it and help with the packing list. I can't wait to see what you're gonna wear. That was the best part about like getting ready for Hawaii is like picking out all of my outfits.
I know, you had a good reel too of all your fits.
I took so many videos of my outfit. Nick was like, "Can we go?" And I'm like, "Wait, I just gotta film this real fast."
One more angle.
Truly. And I took pictures of all of my food, and I have not made that reel yet either. But like,
it's coming.
So much good food.
It's coming.
So Allie, what are we talking about today?
So one topic that has come up a lot between us, just in our day-to-day and things we talk about, is the art and sort of the practice of romanticizing your life, which can kind of mean different things to different people. But I see it as a way of just taking the mundane and elevating it to a way that just feels quaint and sweet and just gives you little joys throughout the day.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and this episode's really going to center around a couple of different things that each of us does to romanticize our day, whether it's our mornings or our evenings, and just a couple tips of things that you might consider doing in your day-to-day that improves your life.
Yeah, and I think about romanticizing the everyday kind of as like the very much the ethos of Everyday Bubbly. Like
it's our
whole
essence.
It really is. Like our whole thing is finding something to celebrate every day. Like maybe it's booking this trip that's a couple of months away. Maybe it's celebrating someone else. Maybe, I think the example you use a lot is like you finished your laundry or you scheduled your dog's vet appointment, which I might need to do because my dog is unwell today, you guys. She's so miserable. But like having something to look forward to and celebrate and just enjoy.
And we're not saying like go buy all these things and there's things you can do around the house that you probably already have that just takes something very everyday, very simple, boring, and makes it fun.
Yeah, totally. And maybe when we go through and we'll just be alternating like what our different tips are, maybe we can do like what the $ attachment is, like on a scale of $1 to $3.
Yeah,
like
that's a good one.
How hard this is to include in your life. Or maybe we can also do like a $ and a
example.
difficulty level. of like incorporating that. Like I think some things just require a little bit more effort than
Yeah,
others.
agreed. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
You want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Number 1 for me, candles. Candles. Real candles and fake candles. Real candles, I love smells, and although we went to Bath and Body Works one time and we were gagging
I was
at
like
how
unwell.
bad some of the smells were. So in my mind, like I like subtle smells, teak wood, sandalwood, rosewood, all the woods, I guess.
You're a big wood person.
So real candles, I love lighting them. I have a candle warmer that makes candles last longer.
Yeah, how do candle warmers, I always see them and I've never
It's like
one.
a structure that has a bulb and you turn it on, and the light bulb that's directly above the candle, depending on how bright you have it, warms the candle so it still gives off the aroma, but it doesn't melt as quickly.
Gotcha.
Because it just liquefies the wax, and then when you turn it off, it re-hardens.
Gotcha.
And you can like set it on a timer. And so I just like, first thing I do when I get up is I turn my candle warmer on in my bedroom, and it just like fills the room with a pleasant smell. And then I put it on a 1-hour timer when I'm winding down for bed.
I love that.
And I've had the same candle in it for like 3 months. So
that's
single
so
dollar
cute.
sign. I think
Single dollar
I think the
sign.
warmer is $20 on Amazon.
I see them on Amazon. I think they have them at like Target.
Yeah, and the fake candles too, that's my other one, is you can get just the fake electric ones, and even that just makes such a difference with mood lighting. The only thing I warn you on is if you put some by your fireplace, you need to move them before you light the fire, or else you're gonna have melted fake candles all over your fireplace.
Are you speaking from personal experience?
So don't do that. Don't do that. But we have some in our bedroom, guest room, living room, and it just is, they're on like little remotes and timers. So.
I love that. My first one is buy beautiful, practical things. So I drink tea every morning, or bone broth or something like that, some sort of hot liquid. And I used to use the Keurig to just like run the hot water cycle through. Decided that was like boring and lame, and I like wasn't excited to just like push a button. Yeah. So I bought a tea kettle for myself from the brand Fellow, which like was a little bit more expensive than I probably needed it for a tea kettle. It was like $80 for something that boils water. But it's beautiful. I leave it on my stove all of the time. I use it multiple times a day, and I have 100% gotten my money's worth.
Yeah, if you think about like the amount of that you use it, divide that by the cost, it's like
pennies.
Less than a penny.
Truly.
A day.
Like I have some beautiful glass straws that I bought recently for like, I think it was $6 for a 6-pack of straws. I have this really ornate lemon press, because I would squeeze fresh lemon in my hot water every morning. And these are things that I'm using.
Yeah.
Like I could have gotten a much cheaper practical version, or used the Keurig or something like that. But like, it's nice to have
I love that.
this little glimmer of joy when I'm doing something that I would be doing anyways. And like going back to like making the mundane fun.
Yeah.
I would say that is a range of dollar signs, because beautiful doesn't have to mean expensive. It really depends on like what your thing is.
You can also thrift and find some really cool antique pieces that just add, beautiful bowls to put your fruit in on the countertop. And also like when you're buying things like that, you're helping kind of with the sustainability a little bit, because you're maybe not using single serve things like the straws. Like if you're using glass straws, you're helping out the planet by not using, just a straw that you throw away after every use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so that's a range of dollar signs, but that's my first one, is buy beautiful, practical things.
Yeah, think about like the things you use every day, almost like make a list, and then you can probably find like, is there an item out there that has either a nicer aesthetic or is higher quality? We're all about quality over quantity.
Yes,
here.
100%. What about you? What's your next one?
My next one is, it's so funny, a lot of mine are like kind of in the same vein, but I hate overhead lighting. And so this one's probably a $2 or $3 sign item, but just finding other ways to light your environment. Candles, yes, like I just said, might be one, but really cool lamps that you can find thrift shopping. There was a gal that I know, and I went to her house to dog sit for her, and she just had the coolest aesthetic at her house. I have not been able to convert our home quite like this, but she had a ton of lamps, and some of the lamps had scarves over them to help with like the dimness of the lamps. And she was like, I don't even know which buttons control the overhead lights because I never use them. They only ever have lamps on, and it just is sexy and cozy, and you can change out the bulb to have different, mood with that. If you have a warm Edison bulb or a cooler tone light bulb. So I just think that's a really cool tip if you've got some cool lamps. I have a lamp that I love that is in the shape of a cactus, and it's on a dimmer. So again, we don't use our overhead light in our living room. We only ever use that lamp, and it just makes a difference. It makes it more, it's not so harsh on the eye.
Yeah, and I'd say also if maybe you're on the fence about getting a lamp, or maybe you have a really small space and you can't justify buying like a floor lamp or something, they also have like smart light bulbs that you can dim as well. So yeah, your overhead light's still on, but it doesn't have to be so aggressive, which is a big thing.
Or there's also like, you can switch out your overhead fixtures for more kind of funky lighting. The house that we moved into had these really cool Edison bulb lights, and we've kept those. And even though you hate the one in my office,
I hit it on my head every single, and like
every
you
day.
and Adam are just much shorter people than I am, and I smack my head into this light every single fucking time. Nothing makes me angrier.
So get something that's height adjacent for you. But yeah, it's just a cool way of just changing up the harsh fluorescent overhead lighting.
Oh, and light strips. We have those in our media room. They're like, and again, if you have a small space or you're just like not sure if you want to buy lamps, very cheap, very easy to just like stick along places or like along your baseboards.
Or like those cool like disco galaxy lights that you can like put at night. There's just so many things you can do with lighting.
I love that. I don't do enough with lighting, honestly.
I think we could all do more, but yeah.
I love that. My next one is a $0 sign as well. I think maybe mine are going, I think most of mine are pretty like low dollar signs now that I'm looking at them. My next one goes along with my first one. It's stop saving the nice stuff for a special occasion. Whether that's like your nice fancy wine glasses or you have special, I don't think that this happens as much with our generation, but I know when I was living at home, we would have like the holiday plates or like,
for the like, nice china.
The nice china.
Fine china.
We had like some that were like gold rims, and it's like, we would use them maybe once a year, and it just sits and takes up, like, why can't we just enjoy this all the time? So that's my other thing is like, or if you have a really nice jacket or a pair of shoes that you love and you don't wear them often enough, you bought it because you like it. You bought it because you want people to like experience this with you. And I know that I sometimes am guilty about doing this, but like, especially with shoes specifically, but if you have a nice, fun, and it doesn't have to be expensive, but if they're just like fun and funky, wear them.
Yeah.
Put the clothes on, like take out that new purse or like use the nice wine glasses, like do whatever.
You bought it for a reason, so put it to use, and if it wears out because you've been using it, it's done its job, and then you can replace it with something else that you're gonna love just as much. So.
I have a really bad habit, and again, this goes back to Everyday Bubbly. I would get a nice bottle of wine, and then I would save it. I was like, I can only use this for a special occasion. Like today's not special enough. And by the time I opened it, it would have gone bad. Yeah. And I can't even drink this wine that I've been like putting on a pedestal.
I know. We bought some good bottles in Napa, and Adam's like, we can't open that. It's just a Tuesday. I'm like, but it was a Tuesday. It was a shitty Tuesday, and I need that bottle.
Yeah.
so
that is free $99. That just use the things you have that you love.
Yeah. In that same vein, though, like using your wine glass for a water glass. I'm looking at your kitchen counter. You have like a mason jar for your water glass. Like that's a really cool, funky way of just drinking your water that's not in like a plastic cup.
It makes it more exciting. Like I refuse to drink my water out of a cup.
Yeah.
I will only drink my water out of jars.
I only have like plastic cups now as like to-go cups that I can throw away when I'm out of the house.
What's your next one?
I think my next one is ambient music. Putting on music in the background when you're at home, when you're working. We found Adam and I love YouTube, and we found this channel that's called the Jazz Channel, and it just has like different backdrops. Like you can pick one that looks like a terrace in Italy, or that looks like an ocean view condo, or the Eiffel Tower in Paris at night. And it's like different themed sort of like jazz music, and I love just putting that on in the bedroom when I'm like making the bed and getting ready for the day, and then I just like leave it on. I'm like, I think the dogs like it, and it just fills the house with just a fun kind of vibe.
I love that. I like to do that when I'm cooking, especially like put on like a cool chill cooking playlist or something, and it makes me feel like I'm in a little rom-com movie.
Oh yeah, like when we make Mexican food, we put on like the salsa Pandora channel or whatever, or like if we're doing Italian, we do Italian music. So we've really gotten to the habit of just finding fun ambient instrumental playlists, and it's free 99.
Free 99. My next one is, this is another free 99, to romanticize your everyday. And it's such a small thing. Go outside. Like that sounds,
leave your house.
Like it sounds so dumb and so simple, but like it's like when I'm in a bad mood, I go on a walk. I like sometimes just being outside, being in the sun, like hearing birds, all of that, like just, it honestly like scientifically puts you in a bad mood. Hearing bird sound specifically. So birds only sing and make sound when there's no predators around. So if you're hearing bird song, it puts your nervous system into like a relaxation phase, because your body's like, oh, I'm safe. There's no predators. I can like rejuvenate myself.
I love that.
So just getting outside and like soaking in some sun. If you're in the South, maybe do that before 9 a.m. or after 8 p.m.
I was gonna say 9 p.m. nowadays.
But like just get outside, even if it's like, one thing that I make a priority of, even if I'm on vacation, is getting at least like 10 minutes of sunlight as soon as I wake up, like within the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, there's so many
hour.
Scientific health benefits to that.
Yeah, and like get outside, explore nature. You're gonna see something so random that you're like, maybe a bird that you haven't noticed before, or sometimes I'll see a lot of little snails or like little tadpoles, maybe because of like where I live. Yeah. And it just honestly like brings me joy.
It kind of just recenters you and reminds you like you are one person on this massive earth, and there are all these other organisms and species, and especially at night when you can see the stars and the moon, and you're like, wow, I am so small.
Yeah.
And this universe is massive, and it just kind of recenters like when you're stressed out.
Yeah. I love it. Sounds counterintuitive, but I love feeling small when I'm upset. Like my problems don't matter in the grand scheme of things.
Well, they do matter.
Well, they do to like my little bubble, but like it's just so cool to see
your feelings, but
true. But it's just cool to see like how much else is out there.
A change of perspective is always good.
It puts it into perspective. That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my third in a row free tip. Get the fuck outside.
Free tip. My next one is not free.
Listen, we're balancing each other out. It's perfect.
I know. Flowers. I mean, I love them. I actually don't do this enough, but I feel like anytime you go to the grocery store, if you just buy a small, my mom does this, and she just buys like a little bundle based on her mood and makes a little, couple little bouquets and sprinkles them throughout the house, and does that, every week, every 2 weeks. And she's not going crazy with them, but she's just buying like a small little bundle and then redoing them. And I just find that like fresh flowers it makes me feel like a Disney princess. Like when I'm like, like Belle, and just like with my bouquets of flowers around the house. So
I love that. That's a good one. I will go through phases where I'm really good about getting flowers, but I think it's a little bit harder, and maybe other cat owners, if you agree. One of our cats in particular, like can't keep her teeth off of things.
Yeah.
And I'm always worried about accidentally killing her.
Yeah. You probably have to just like be really knowledgeable on safe plants and flowers, and only buying the ones that you know are good.
Or I'll have them and I'll keep them in my office where I close the door if I'm not in there, so it's a little bit safer.
But kitchen counter, dining room, those are off limits for the kitty cats.
They're gonna chew on them.
Yeah, luckily our dogs haven't figured out how to get up on counters.
Good.
Thank God.
Good. because
Chico on the dining room table.
could not imagine.
Burn it. It's dirty.
Could not imagine. My next one is make a morning or night routine, either or, depending on who you are, that you really look forward to.
Yeah.
Like I think I have like my night routine. I never thought of it as a routine, but like it is. But I love getting ready for bed and like snuggling up and be like, ooh, when I wake up, I'm gonna go on my walk and I'm gonna do my skincare and I'm gonna like journal.
You're still doing your tongue scraping and your oil pulling?
I still do tongue scraping. I no longer do oil pulling because we did those food sensitivity things a while ago and I can't have coconut oil. So I can't have coconut.
Crazy how that's changed since our original episode.
Yeah, so I can't have coconut.
I was in shock.
And I honestly, I miss it. I really, so it's like changed my morning a bit. Like now I'll do one morning meditation. As soon as I like wake up, I'll do a morning meditation because my brain is still in its theta waves, which is the time when it's most susceptible to being reprogrammed. So doing a little reprogramming of my subconscious first thing. Sometimes I'll do a second one immediately after. Then I'll journal before I get out of bed while I listen to subliminals. And then I'll go out and like take Ash on a walk and like get ready for breakfast, take all my supplements.
That's kind of in the vein of one that I had was just like my skincare routine. I feel like whenever I do the full thing and I can just see my face looking fresh and dewy and I have my ambient music in the background and I've got my candle warmer on, I'm just like, who is she? She's living her best life.
Yeah, there's something so decadent feeling about like having, which shouldn't be the case, but it's so decadent like having that time to like just focus on you. And
just having like nice, clean skin that feels good and moisturized. There's just something that feels good about that.
Yeah, I love that. Was that your next one?
It was kind of just like because it went with yours a little bit.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to do another one?
The other one, I have two more. Okay. And then, so the second to last one for me is kind of in the same vein as a few others, but a diffuser.
You're a big smells person.
Smells makes me feel so calm. Yeah. Lavender, again, that sandalwood or teak wood. If I don't have candles present, then I just use my little air diffuser that I have, and we have a couple in different rooms of the house. And we don't have like the big fancy nice ones that are expensive. We have these like ones from Target that we just fill with water, and I just get a couple drops of a scent and mix it in, and it just, it makes the whole room smell. So if you find a scent that you don't like, that's unfortunate. But luckily I have all ones that we like.
This is like kind of on a tangent, but I've had this conversation with other people. Are you like a perfume person? Like, do you have like a signature scent and I've just never noticed? Oh wow, I don't notice smells.
Valentino un Romo.
Oh. Yeah. I guess just not. I spend so much time with you, I've never smelled you.
Unfortunately, I'm not wearing it right now.
I'm about to take a big whiff.
I kind of have it.
Oh yeah. It's like warming.
It's very light because I'm at the dredges of the bottle and I've been waiting to get paid, which I did, and I have an order from Sephora coming in.
We love that.
But yeah, no, I'm love. Like that's my scent.
I love that. I'm not a scent. I have other friends who are like such signature scent girls, and I want to be a perfume girl and like a signature scent girl. It like overwhelms me.
Yeah, you got to find the right one that like you love smelling over and over, because that's like once you put it on, it goes away, but then I can still catch whiffs of it throughout the day. And this is the one I picked because I would hug people and people would be like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. And I'd be like, yes, like that's the
I
best.
love that like memory.
Or like hair care that smells good.
Yeah.
I'm a big scent. I guess I never realized I'm a really big smell.
You've had like 4 of your 5 things have been
flowers, diffuser, candles. Yeah.
You're a scent girl. You just didn't know it.
Like if your house smells good, then I'm happy. If my house smells good, I'm happy.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I also had 2. So my second to last one is silly, but eat at your dining table if you have the ability to do so. Yeah. I feel like eating in front of the TV or eating
at the kitchen counter,
which like there's a time and a place for. Like I definitely will have a snack, or if I'm eating like a quick leftover bite at the kitchen counter, but like sit down at the very least. Don't eat standing up.
Placemats.
I'm a placemat girl. I need a placemat. I really love having tablecloths. We haven't been, because the cats like to get on the table. It's a whole thing. Just don't worry about it. It's a whole thing.
But you can change it out with the seasons, placemats. That's how I feel about tea towels too. Like, and it took me a while to tell Adam, like, this is not a towel for cleaning things. This is decorative.
We currently have one of our 4th of July tea towels is upstairs in the guest bathroom because Nick says we need a new hand towels. I'm like,
It's not
it's not a hand towel. He's like, but it's a towel. It's not a towel. But eat at the table. Maybe it's a kitchen table, or maybe you don't have a table, your apartment's small, so you do have like a little island nook. Because like your last apartment, you just like had an island. But like make it like a little experience. Like sit down, enjoy your food.
If you dress it up with placemats and you still like dress it up in a way that feels more than just like sitting on the edge of the counter though, there's a way to do that.
Yeah, and even if you're getting takeout, you can plate your takeout onto something else. You can just be a little bit, use real silverware, or we have a collection of chopsticks, so I'm not using like the little bamboo chopsticks that come in a sushi roll or a poke bowl.
Disposable utensils and all that.
Yeah, maybe my theme is like just use your things.
Yeah.
Is I think my underlying ethos.
It goes back to, your thing. Use your stuff.
Because one time somebody came to our house and asked us if our dining table was decorative. And I was like, no, I eat at my dining table.
We sit and eat there.
For all 3 meals of the day. And sometimes if I'm having a mid-afternoon snack, I'm still at my table.
Yeah.
So use your fucking shit.
I love it.
What's your last one?
My last one is comfy slippers.
Slippies.
And more so, I've been trying to be better at this habit, but outside shoes, inside shoes. Don't wear your outside shoes around the house. We leave them at the door, and I instantly put my feet in my comfy slippers and just wear those around the house.
I love that. I'm a big no shoes inside person. I am a slippy girl.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Especially with like the memory sole. I just got a pair from Bombas, and I love them so much. They're so comfortable.
No, I love that. I feel like I remember you talking about your Bombas as a Cheers of the week a few weeks ago.
They're still up there.
I love that.
They're still doing their job.
My last one, and this is another free 99 one about romanticizing your everyday, is make an effort to practice gratitude. Going through all of the things that we've talked about, getting yourself flowers, buying yourself a nice tea kettle, getting outside, all of that doesn't mean anything if you don't appreciate it. If you're just doing it and going through the motions and like making it a chore or something that you have to do or something that you're just checking off of your list to say that you've done it, it kind of defeats the purpose. You've just made your everyday just as mundane as it was before.
Yeah.
Like find joy in it. And I mean, it sounds so dumb, but if you need to tell somebody like verbally or write down the things that you're grateful for, I think it makes such a big difference. That's something that Nick and I prioritize every single night before we go to bed. We talk about what our favorite thing we did that day was and like what we are grateful for that day.
Yeah.
And I think it was a bit of a transition when we first started doing that because sometimes you don't want to be fucking grateful. Sometimes you had a really shitty day and your manager said something dumb and this person cut you off in traffic and you lost your favorite fucking necklace and maybe I'm speaking from experience. I don't know. Maybe you like missed the flight to your best friend's wedding and everything seemed awful. But like there are still things, such small things that you can find gratitude for. And even if you don't do anything else on either of our lists, like just taking that 2 to 5 minutes, writing it in your journal if that's your cup of tea, or maybe having a note in your phone where you find one thing a day that you're grateful for and like that you're actually grateful for, you're not just saying that you're grateful for, I think is my biggest $0 sign, but most impactful in the long run tip for romanticizing the everyday.
I think it's a great one. Gratitude. Gratitude above all else.
Yeah. That's my last one. That's our list.
Well, I hope that those are helpful tips and small things that you might consider doing in your day-to-day that just will elevate your life and make your mornings and your evenings and your middle of the days better. And if you have other tips of things that you do, we'd love to hear them. But yeah, I think that's the episode.
I think that's it. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for joining us. As always, I know that we have been slacking on socials lately. It's been a busy phase of life.
It is.
We're trying to get better about it. We will post a little thing about this. Maybe we'll list out all of our tips, put those on socials. And like Ali said, we would love to hear some of your tips. Definitely feel free to connect with us. We love getting to chat with y'all.
Yeah, send us a DM. Cheers,
Cheers, y'all. See you next time.